There we go. Okay. So I am recording now.
Okay.
um, I guess I should do the intro, huh? So everybody, this is Zach Chopin. This is a guy that I grew up in high school with and played baseball, and he is the baseball expert. um, no, but we decided that we were gonna do an MLB predictions video for this week. I hope you guys enjoy this. But welcome, Zach. And
Hi.
like we were talking about before this season is going to be probably another um, crazy year. I couldn't imagine anybody predicting what happened last year, but um, for this one, we're going to give it our best try. And Zach, you know a lot more as of right now than I do. Like I mentioned to you before. I only did most of the research last night and this morning, so we'll see how this goes.
Yeah, it'll be fun. That's for sure.
Yes, yes, it will. Um, so I made it so that you would go ahead and get us started. Um,
Um,
so I guess we're gonna start with the AL,
all
and
right.
we can start with the season predictions. I have your article up with the predictions already, and we're gonna link that below, so then you guys can visit his site too. Lots of really good information in there, uh, which I actually copied a lot of it. So, um, anyway, if you want to go ahead and get started, I'll click and drag for you. I wish we could make it so you could click and drag it, but we're not that sophisticated here.
Not yet.
Not yet. Yeah.
We'll get there.
Right.
All right. So let's see. For this year, for the AL Central, looks like we're starting off. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I have the Chicago White Sox winning the division,
Okay.
followed by the Minnesota Twins,
All right. All right.
the Cleveland Indians are going to fall down to third place this year,
Okay.
followed by the Tigers and then the Royals.
Yes. There we go. Look at that. Just like we're on like MLB tonight or something. It's
Yeah,
perfect
exactly.
production
It is.
value. There we go. That looks kind of
I
sick. All
think
right. Cool.
I think the main reason why I dropped the Indians to third this year
Yes.
is because of the loss of Francisco Lindor
Mm-hmm.
and Carlos Carrasco to the Mets.
Yes.
Although they got a decent haul back with Ahmed Rosario and another shortstop Jimenez,
Mm-hmm.
I think Lindor's production is going to be too much to overcome for them this season.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yep.
Which makes a lot of sense. They are losing a lot of kind of big guns there. It's
Yeah,
gonna be a weird transition for them, definitely.
definitely. All right, so I guess we'll move on to the AL East next.
All right.
Winning the division, I have your hated rival, the New York Yankees.
Yep. Yep. A lot of people are giving them love this year,
Yeah, for
rightfully
sure.
so. I mean, they're they have insane talent, I should say.
They do. They
Yeah.
do, especially when everyone's healthy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see. In second, I have the Toronto Blue Jays.
Okay.
That's kind of a surprise pick, but I feel like they still have a lot to do the rest of this offseason
Yes.
to get their team ready.
They do seem like they're on a mission.
They do. And I know we'll probably talk about some of the moves that we
Yes.
think might happen a little later.
Yeah, I'll give it my best shot, but that's one of the other things that I'm just like, I get the news from it, so I know what's
Yeah,
happened, but as far as like what I think's gonna happen, it's so hard to say for me. But
right.
we'll get into that. Yeah.
Yep. Let's see. Third place I have the Tampa Bay Rays,
Okay.
coming off their World Series appearance, especially after trading Blake Snell. I think
Yes.
he's going to be hard to fill in that rotation.
Mhm.
just because he ate so many out or innings,
Yep.
and he was the ace of that staff.
Yeah.
Plus, they also lost Charlie Morton to the Braves this offseason.
Oh, that's
Um,
right. See, yeah, I forgot about that too.
yeah. Let's see. In fourth place, I have the Red Sox, and then fifth place, I have the Orioles.
Okay. So this is the division we differed in quite a bit, only because I'm as hopeful as I can possibly be as a Red Sox fan. So
Right.
I have them up just a little bit. We'll get into mine and why I have a different opinion, but I appreciate you didn't put them in last.
I don't think they're going to be last. I
No.
think the Orioles are still going to be the basement dwellers of this division for a couple more years.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I agree with that. Although I have a soft spot for the Orioles because we're so close to Baltimore now. So like we get the
Right.
cheap tickets and the fans are so cool, even though they suck.
Oh yeah.
No offense,
Oh yeah.
Orioles fans, but yeah, it's a lot of fun.
It is, and it's a beautiful stadium they have down
Oh my
there.
gosh, yes, yep. I've fallen in love with it. Emily has too. She's
Yeah,
she's more like itching to go to a game than I am right now. Just
that's
crazy to
awesome.
say. Yeah, but
All right, so it looks like we're on to the AL West.
mm-hmm.
And let's start out with the Oakland Athletics.
Yes. There we go.
Then followed by the Trash Can Bangers.
Yeah. I almost wish they'd just fall off the face of the earth at this point.
A little bit,
Yeah. I wouldn't mind them if they just like rebuilt the team completely or they made them like rebuild the team or something. I don't know. Such a dirty taste in my mouth when I'm like putting them on any kind of list. But
Exactly.
anyway.
Let's see. Third, I have the Mariners.
Okay.
I think with their young talent, they're going to surprise some people this year.
Yes.
Fourth place, I have the Angels, and then the Rangers in last.
All right. See, I can't get it to fit very nice in there.
That's fine.
There we go. Yeah, a lot of people are saying, from what I was reading online, is that the Mariners are kind of. A lot of people have their eyes on them, I guess, is what I should say. It seems.
I think they're going to be a sneaky team in the AL,
Mm-hmm.
especially within the next 2 to 3.
Right. Yeah, sort of like. To me, they sort of have a feeling of like the Blue Jays, where they haven't done much yet, but I don't know. I feel like I didn't put them as high up. I put them down in fourth because I'm still living in 2017 and 18, so like they're complete trash to me, but we'll see. I'll probably be wrong. Who knows? All right, so I don't know. Do you want to do like the AL playoff look now, or do you want to just go down to the NL? Do the I don't know.
We can do the. Let's go to the NL,
Okay.
and then we can explain our way through the playoffs.
Okay. All right.
I think
Or
that might
actually,
work.
well, yeah. Here, let me. I guess it's my turn actually
Yep.
for the AL. So, I'll just be throwing them up as I go. Okay. So first, I have the White Sox as well because everybody seems to think that they're gonna do that great. So I can agree with that. And I'm probably gonna be asking you more questions than I'm gonna be predicting stuff. They still have like Jose Abreu in that big old stud, don't they?
Yeah, they have Jose Abreu and Eloy Jimenez in the outfield.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, that was the other one. Who's that guy? Shoot. He's been on social media because of him like pimping home runs and stuff like that. What's his name? Shoot, I can't think of his name.
So I think they have a center
Anderson?
fielder. Yes, Tim Anderson
There
at
you go.
shortstop. The
That's
bat
it.
flip king.
Yeah, that was it. And yeah, he's a very exciting player. Reminds me of what's his name? Shoot. I'm blanking on names now, but he played for the Dodgers, got traded around, got in trouble a lot. Very young stud.
Oh,
Shoot. I'm gonna feel so dumb when his name comes up. Oh my gosh. He's from Dominican Republic.
let's see. Oh, Yasiel Puig.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. I guess it's not a name I should have forgotten, but there it is. Anyway, so I have next the Indians because again, I'm living in 2018 and they're still decent in my mind, even though the Twins were absolutely insane. Like their offense was disgustingly record breaking almost. I at least I think that was last year, right? Or was that 2 years ago?
I think it was 2019.
Yeah,
Yeah,
probably. Um,
yeah,
but I feel like they're cooling down a little bit, probably even
right,
more so than in my mind. And then I have the Tigers actually in fourth.
right.
Now these teams, I honestly, it's just like a toss up to me again.
Yeah,
And this all depends on how the season in general goes, like with scheduling and stuff. It's gonna be weird.
right.
Hopefully they can fix it though, get it figured out, and get like 120 to 140 games. We'll see.
That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah. Um. So for the East, I have the Blue Jays up top.
All
Um.
right.
I do like for some reason with the research that I've done and just like paying attention a little bit, they are younger, but I feel like they're really on a mission to like break open that AL East, Red Sox, Yankees, Rays. I mean, they have been for a while, but now it's like they just have a different feel to them.
Yeah. Plus, it sounds like they're still trying to make some moves, which we can obviously get into later.
Yes, yes,
Yep.
exactly. I'll give respect to the Yankees though. I'll put them in a second because they are. It would be stupid for me not to put them in the top two in the East right now
Right.
with the way they've been playing. But me being a hopeful,
All
I
right.
have the Red Sox in third, and they might squeeze some playoff berth here. And I think, well, we'll get into this later too. Chris Sale's gonna make a comeback with that surgery and everything, and an actual comeback, not one where he comes back and then goes away and comes back and goes away, and
Yep.
the times he pitches is awful. But which I did feel weird about doing this though, putting the Rays in fourth because of what
Yeah.
they did last year. But last year was such a weird year that like
Mm,
I feel like I'm just erasing that from my mind as much as I can.
right.
But I know it's hard to because there's a lot of like, you know, outstanding people and just new players and all that stuff last year. But trying to get it out of my mind, I think the Rays are going to be back down in fourth. And of course,
Another thing with the
Orioles.
Red Sox is that they have Alex Cora back as their manager.
Yeah, exactly. And that's going to be one of my picks for the awards. Is I think he's
Okay.
going to get manager of the year. To be completely honest with you,
Yeah.
after all is said and done in the East,
Mhm.
I think he will because they're gonna get the playoff berth and they're gonna make a decent run. But
Okay.
we'll get into that. I think so. I hope. Maybe it's
Yeah.
just maybe it's just pure hope. We'll see.
Right.
Okay, so in the West, I also have the A's right there. They're a very fun team to watch. They have like bits of like explosiveness. I like that in teams, and um maybe this year being like an actual stable year, hopefully, they get their chance to really shine.
Perfect.
I have the Angels in second just because I want them to be so
Yeah.
bad. I want them to be good, and I want them in the playoffs, and I want Mike Trout to have his like, his real moment. And I haven't really looked into a lot of their other players, but we'll see how that
Mhm.
goes. As
For
long as their
sure.
pitching holds up, they should be fine.
Yeah. I think that's going to be the big question mark
Yeah.
for that this year.
Yep. And then the Astros, I'll give them third because they are a good team, and unfortunately, they can't be dismantled and have to start from scratch again, but it's just the world we're living in now, where they get to have most of the same players. Although, and I think they are a great team, and they kind of showed that a little bit last year. That even like with the entire spotlight on them, with the cheating and stuff, they still managed to do pretty good. Um,
Yeah.
and poor Altuve got shredded apart, in the media and stuff like that. And I feel like he ended up doing not horrible. Like, I would have just quit. I would have taken the season off if I were him after a few games, like just going, oh, what did he go like? Oh, for, oh, what was it? I don't even know. It was terrible. It was,
Yeah.
I felt terrible watching it, but I also was like, you know what? That's kind of what you get. So
It was I think it was humbling for everybody on the team.
probably, yeah. But with the people going into free agency, oh my gosh, get out of here. Um, with some of those players going into free agency and them losing some of their better players, I think they're gonna be a decent team, like they always are. Or, well, like we know them to be, but
Right.
not as leading. So, and then I have the Mariners down here at fourth because, again, I haven't been paying attention too much to them. You said they were younger, right? What
Yeah.
did you have? You have them third. Um, but I always know them to be the Mariners of past.
Right.
Like the King Felix
Yeah.
era where they're fun to watch only when two players are on the mound or something. But
Yeah. Agreed.
yep. And the Rangers down in fifth. They need something. I don't know what they need, but
And they have a new stadium, so maybe that'll help.
that could be it. Wait, I didn't know that, so I might switch them with the Astros or something. That puts them ahead for sure. So, all right, well, let's go ahead and get into the NL.
All right.
You're on deck.
All right. Well, as much as I love this division, I also hated picking it. Uh, so we're gonna start off with the Cardinals winning the division,
Yes.
um, and then we're gonna follow that up with the Brewers,
Okay.
which is kind of a surprise. I, you know, played with the idea of, who's still remaining on each of these teams
Yeah. Yep.
for free agency. And I feel like the Brewers have the second best roster right now.
Mm-hmm.
Um, we're going to follow that up with the Reds.
Okay. Okay.
And then the Cubs. And it pains me to put my beloved Pittsburgh Pirates in fifth, but I feel like it's
Yeah.
going to be a couple more years of this.
Yeah. There's a lot of heartache and pain in Pirates Twitter and just overall in general. I can see it. I can feel it. Um, it's a bummer to watch because I like the Pirates too. I like seeing them do good. And every time they do or have some kind of playoff run, like I'm there. Even if the Red Sox are in the playoffs, I'm like, no, I want the Pirates to like make a really good run and just I don't know. It'd be nice to watch. It's the same thing with like I don't know. Well, this is kind of I don't know if this is too soon, but the Browns. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh come on, just for the fans, But
Oh,
that office needs to figure it out.
they do. I
Yeah.
think as of right now, they have the right regime in there
Mm-hmm.
to make the Pirates a competitive team within the next, 3 to 5 years.
Yep. Yep. I can definitely see that.
Yeah. Fingers crossed.
Yeah. Right.
All right. So the NL East.
Okay.
Uh,
It's a fun one.
it is a fun one. And first, I have the Atlanta Braves.
Okay. They got some studs too.
They do. I feel like they have a young pitching staff, a bunch of young, exciting players like Acuna Jr.
Mm-hmm.
and Osvaldes,
Yep.
and especially
And
Freddie Freeman at first.
yeah, he's a amazing player. He's
He
definitely
is.
someone to like look up to and just to respect the game, especially when he's older. I think he's gonna be one of those guys that's like, kind of like Votto and Pujols are. Not obviously
Correct.
not like up in legendary echelon like Pujols is, but you never know. And he's got like that respect about him. I like that.
Yeah, I think he was the perfect person to fill in when Chipper Jones retired.
Oh
Just
yeah,
kind of carry that torch forward.
exactly. Yes, that's a good way of
Uh,
putting it.
let's see. Second place, I have the Mets this year.
The mighty Mets. I love this
Yes.
team. I don't know what about it. I like that they're rebuilding and like they're getting excited, exciting and taking kind of they're it's hard with the Yankees in New York, but I feel like they're getting their spotlight back, their own like, little shimmer of light in New York when they never, they haven't had one like this. There's a lot of hope there.
Yes, for sure. And especially with their new owner who's willing to spend money to make the Mets competitive.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
with that Lindor and Carrasco trade, they've also signed James McCann as their starting catcher, and then added a couple
Oh,
other
okay.
bullpen pieces.
See, I didn't know that either. Nice. That's good to know.
Yeah.
It makes my prediction a little bit sweeter.
Oh yeah.
So we'll see how that goes. I'm excited to see the Mets play though. I like watching that team.
Yes. Let's see. The rest of the division, I have the Phillies in third this year,
Okay.
um, followed by the Marlins and the
Oh,
Nationals.
poor Nats. They had
I
their
know.
time. They had their time, and I don't know. I don't know what happened, but I feel like
Yeah,
they were so close, and they just dropped the ball. I don't know. I feel bad for the Nats, but they had their chance, I guess.
they did. I actually started reading this book, Buzzsaw, and it's the
Oh, okay.
story of the Nationals' 2019 run to the World Series.
Oh, wow. That's
So
probably a
that
really good book. That's exactly what I was talking about. Yeah, it's like
is
Buzzsaw. I'm gonna write that down.
yes. Um, and a fun fact is that I went to a Nationals game down in DC in 2019 against the Cubs, um, during the May where they started out 19-31 the
Oh,
season,
really?
and they beat the Cubs for one of those 19 wins. And it was cool just watching them throughout the playoffs.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. Like when you go see a team like that and they start doing good, you
Yeah,
feel attached when even though they're not your team or whatever. It's like yeah, there's some kind of attachment. Like I was there, I saw them when they were, it's like that story. I like that.
yeah.
That's
I think
fun.
the best part was that Steven Strasburg started that game, and he ended up winning World Series MVP that year.
Oh yeah.
So
Oh, even
it's
better.
nice.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. He was honestly like he's one of my favorite pitchers, and to see him make that comeback that he did,
Right.
like oh, that was so satisfying to me. I don't know why. Like I looked up to him so much in high school when we
Yeah.
when we were playing, and like seeing him in the minors, like he had like that 25 strikeout game or whatever.
Yeah.
What was it? Was it 25 or something? That's nuts.
I think
Or is it
it
20?
was definitely 20 plus, but I'm not
Yeah.
entirely sure. But he was like
Oh,
the phenom. Like
yes.
we all wanted to be Steven Strasburg.
Exactly. Oh, it was nuts. But yeah, it was really satisfying seeing him come back and get his time. Like I think that's what he kind of deserved for
Yeah,
having that much talent. Definitely.
agreed. All right, so I guess we'll move on to the NL West now.
Yes.
Um, I feel like this division is the top two choices are pretty easy to make. Gonna have the
Yeah.
Dodgers win the division again,
Yep.
followed by the Padres.
Yep. The Padres are gray right now because their logo is like a deep blue that matched this almost perfectly. It was kind of annoying, so I made them gray.
All right. Let's see. And then we'll go with the Giants,
Okay.
Rockies, and Diamondbacks.
There we go. Okay. All right. So, oh wait, I guess it's my turn, right? Unless you
Yep.
want to talk about well, we can talk about the West when I get there. All right, I'll go over some of my predictions here. What do I have for the Central? Okay, so again, this is something where like I have the teams I want to do good, but the ones that I did a little research on, I'm kind of following suit. So I have the Cardinals first as well, and I think yeah, you did as well. Okay, that's probably where I got it from, because I trust your analytics when it comes to baseball. And a lot of people are saying the Cardinals are going to do good, but to be honest with you, I have no idea. I don't know. I don't follow the NL Central as much other than the Pirates, and the Brewers are someone that I would like to see do good, you know, but I don't have them up there. But I have the Cubs in second because I'm used to them doing pretty decent this past couple of years. Brewers in third, and I think no, I have the Pirates in last as well. Sorry, Zach. I was gonna try to give you some hope, but I feel like I don't know what it's gonna take for that front office to get their act together. Like, yeah, you're already you're already down, and I don't know. Are they not spending money or something?
They haven't really spent money in the past, I would say 3 or 4 off seasons.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I was looking today on Fangraphs at their payroll projections for 2021,
yeah.
and there isn't a player on the roster getting paid more than I think it was $5 million, except for Gregory Polanco, who's
Oh
getting
my
paid
gosh.
11.6 million
Jeez.
for him to pull something and end up on the DL or IL,
Yeah.
whatever they call it nowadays.
I think it's IL. I'm pretty sure. I remember seeing that like switch a couple years ago. I don't know, whatever.
Yeah,
But
he's playing.
yeah. Oh, that's nuts. So not $5 million for any player
Yeah,
on.
please.
That's
I can double check that, but
it's kind of sad. It's like what are you hoarding your money for unless they just don't have it, but I
right.
doubt that. I don't know. I feel like you can figure that out.
Yeah, the highest player right now is Polanco.
Okay.
Um, and then the second highest is Joe Musgrove, who just won his arbitration hearing at $4.5 million.
Gotcha. Oh,
Yeah,
wow. Money bags over there.
I know.
Man, that's a bummer. Well, let's go ahead and I'll get through my predictions here for the rest of the NL.
All right.
The Mighty Mets I have in first because I love watching them play, and I don't know. I want them to take the spotlight from the Yankees, so I'm trying to like manifest something here with them. I'm like, yeah, they're gonna dominate. I think they're gonna do great things, Zach. I do.
All right.
But
I'll be
I do realize the Braves are insane and they're probably gonna end up taking that first place. But these are my predictions. This is my manifesting of beating the
exactly.
Yankees. Somehow. There's a story in my mind that all goes according to plan, and it's where the Yankees lose a miserable in a miserable
Maybe
way.
Yankees Mets World Series.
Wouldn't that be crazy? I'd love that though. That would be fun. As long as
Would
the
be.
Yankees lost.
Yes.
But yeah, so I have the Phillies in third. They're younger from what I know. And they had their like hints of excitingness. I think most of my stuff is going from 2019 as well. Like
Right.
they had some exciting games that I remember watching and some stories to that. So I think they're gonna do all right. Um,
Mhm.
I do believe the Nats might pull ahead here a little bit because, from what I remember, the Marlins are just in
The Marlins.
shambles. But yeah, I don't even know what's going on there anymore. But last thing I remembered was that they are just like abandoning ship or something. I don't know. Maybe
Yeah.
you can update me on that. But they're just
It,
from what I
it
remember,
was
it's not good.
it was basically they had one year where they had Marcell Ozuna, Giancarlo Stanton,
Yeah.
and Christian Yelich as their starting outfield,
Yep.
and then
Oh.
they traded them all in the offseason.
Oh no. And that was with
Yeah,
Jeter, right? Like Jeter made that decision.
I think it might have been before Jeter got in there.
Oh, and maybe he just like had to clean it up a little bit.
Yeah, and then they also traded D Gordon that year too.
That's right.
Yeah,
Man, that's a bummer. That's kind of a
yeah,
shame, but I guess that's baseball. If you're gonna make decisions like that, you gotta live with it. That's gonna haunt
right.
them for a while. But
Agreed.
okay. And so yeah, this one was a little bit easier. Dodgers are the Dodgers. I feel like they're gonna unless San Diego really like shines this year with a consistent season, like
Yeah,
something to really get them to get locked in because they're a team full of studs as well.
they
Um,
are.
and I think they're gonna do really good this year, but maybe not as good as the Dodgers do in the regular season. But they're a playoff
Mhm.
team. Like they have that spark to them.
They do for sure.
Um, I have the Rockies in third, just
Okay.
because Arenado, he's my
Yeah,
favorite player, like this
yeah.
decade to watch and to follow. So as long as nothing happens with him down there, like I don't know, is he gonna be traded? Do you think? We can get into that
Uh,
later too, but
yeah. I think we can get into that a little later.
yeah, yeah, we will. But I love that player, and it kind of makes me like the Rockies a little bit more just because of him. So I think that um, as long as he doesn't get hurt or anything happens to him, he might be able to pull them up a little bit by their bootstraps, so to say.
Right.
So those are my predictions for the NL.
All
Um,
right.
I guess now we can start talking playoffs, right?
Heck yeah.
Okay. This is the fun one. I have no idea what's gonna happen, but I'll pretend to know. That's kind of my thing. Just kind of faking it till I make it here. So, if
So
you want to go ahead and go first,
I
AL
will.
playoffs.
I think the main thing that I guess viewers should know is we're basing our playoffs off of the 8-team expanded playoffs from the 2020 season.
Yep.
So I'm saying if it shrinks back down to 6 teams, any teams that we have in those 7 and 8 spots, if
Mm-hmm.
we predict the playoffs, then that counts for our review at the end of the year.
Yep. Agreed.
So, starting off with the number 1 seed, I have the Yankees.
Okay. Understandable. Although I hate it. Understandable.
I know it pained me a little bit.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna say the Oakland Athletics are gonna sweep up that number 2 seed.
Okay.
Billy Bean always has an idea of how he wants to structure his team. They're usually up there at the end of the year.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Let's see. Number 3, we're gonna have the Chicago White Sox,
Okay.
followed by the Houston Astros,
There they are.
and then the Minnesota Twins,
Okay.
Toronto Blue Jays, Cleveland Indians, and Tampa Bay Rays.
Okay. All right. We get rid of these guys. There we go. Looks nice and
All right.
clean now. Okay. Well, we have a little bit of a different thing, but again, it's like more hopeful stuff and what I want to see, not necessarily what's gonna happen. But I think yours is very accurate as to what's gonna happen. I like the idea of the Oakland Athletics being like up there in the playoffs, like doing good this year.
The big reasoning behind that is that I feel like them and the Astros are just going to not necessarily beat up on the rest of the AL West.
Mm-hmm.
But with the Angels, if they don't, have stellar pitching, Mike Trout can only do so much for them.
Yeah.
And then the Rangers are the Rangers.
Right.
Whereas with the White Sox, Twins, and Indians, I feel like it's going to be, it might come down to like the last 2 weeks of the season, and we still don't know who's going to win that division.
I agree with that. Yeah, that's going to be a very tight 3-way race there.
Yeah.
I can definitely see that. But yeah, you're right. It's like the A's and the Astros are probably just going to do what they do and kind of beat up on these three. Although I would like to see the Angels kind of get that run, but again, it's all hopeful.
Right. So, all right, I think we're on to your playoffs for the AL.
We are. Okay, and this is a little bit different, minus the A's in second, but I do think the Blue Jays, they're not really going to surprise people, but I think they're on like that mission, and other than the people that, like the Yankees are the obvious favorite right now, and I think that will surprise most people, is that they're just going to completely change the AL East. And I'm hoping they can just handle the Yankees, and they're the ones that are going to be like the Yankee killers, Like throughout the season, they're going to be the ones that are giving them the most trouble. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes. I also have the A's in second.
All right.
And the White Sox in third. We're kind of similar, other than the Blue Jays being way up there. And then, of course, the Yankees. I have to give them a little respect. If I put them anywhere lower than fourth, I feel like I'd take a lot of slack for that one. That would just be a stupid decision. 5, I have the Indians, actually.
Okay.
And because I think with a little bit more of a consistent season, and even with losing some of their better talent, I feel like they have something to kind of prove a little bit, like, but we'll see. I mean, that could be my like miserable choice. They end up in last place and it just all blows up from there. I've seen that happen with teams where they lose that one key player, Red Sox, that really just like dismantled the season. But speaking of Red Sox, I think they're gonna make. Yeah, I feel like with Chris Sale, having more of a consistent season as well, and with Cora coming back to kind of hold down. I feel like it's the same. I know they don't have Mookie, but it's the same offense, relatively speaking. They have people kind of emerging and stepping up. They have hints of that at least, but no, I feel like, I mean, this goes with a lot of teams, but with that pitching, as long as they figured that out, which I think with Sale leading the charge there, I feel like they'll get a little bit more of a spark. And I feel like, I know, was it Eduardo Rodriguez? Is that his name? Eduardo. Hang on. He had the coronavirus and actually got very like ill from it last year.
Oh, your starting pitcher.
Yeah, for the Red Sox. He was like stepping up for Sale, and even in 19, like he was doing awesome from what I remember. But then last year, which might have been a blessing, he did get the coronavirus, but he had like heart complications with that, and so I don't know where he's at health wise right now, but with what I saw in 2019 from him, um, I feel like if him and Sale lead the charge, they could have a really really sick 1-2 combination there.
Yeah, for sure. And I think they're still looking to add some arms to that rotation.
Oh yeah, yeah, for sure. And beating that, what was it, the luxury tax,
Yeah,
figuring that out. I feel like they have some money to spend, but they've only spent money on Devers so far, so I don't know.
great.
I don't know what they'll do. And yeah, we'll get into trades later, but um, okay. So next, okay, yeah, I put the Angels up here.
All
Again,
right.
it's that hopefulness. I want them to do good, and I feel like if they're in the playoffs, they'll get a chance to do some cool things.
Agreed.
And then the Twins, I feel like they'll sneak their way in. Um,
Mhm.
we'll see how that goes. That's another thing. I could be completely wrong. Like them and the Indians might even just trade there, but uh,
Right.
for some reason it seems like they've had their like a huge spike. It's I don't know. It's very weird to me seeing the Twins do good, especially with that like crazy offensive year. And if their bats cool down, I don't feel like they'll make it in the top 5, but we'll see.
Right.
We will see.
Yeah.
Okay, let me get rid of these. And then now to the NL playoffs.
All right.
Let's see how this will go.
Oh, let's see. So, as the number 1 team, I have the Dodgers, as no surprise.
Right. They're just every year it's like they're just like they're crazy.
Let's see. Second, I have the Atlanta Braves,
Okay.
followed by the Cardinals and Mets.
Cardinals. Oop. And Mighty Mets. There they are.
Let's see. Fifth place, I have the Padres, which might
Okay.
be a little bit of a shock, but I feel like if there's going to be a lot of good games between the Dodgers and Padres, say they split the series
Mm-hmm.
and just beat up on everyone else in that division, um, I still think the Dodgers will have the edge.
Okay.
Um, the last 3 are kind of toss ups in the air. I have the Brewers,
All right.
followed by the Phillies,
All mixed up here. There we go.
and the Giants.
Okay. All right. I like it.
There's
I like it.
I was debating whether to throw the Reds in at that last spot, but ultimately I decided on San Francisco. So I know they just signed Alex Wood, starting pitcher, to help bolster that rotation. I think it might put
I
them over that
see.
edge.
I see. Okay, I didn't know that either. See, I'm learning new things and
I think
kind of second guessing myself, but that's what predictions are for. We'll see.
right. I think that he just signed either Saturday or Sunday, so it was pretty recent.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, that's probably why. And Alex Wood, wasn't he on the Dodgers
He was
for a
on the
little bit?
Dodgers.
Okay. See,
Yeah,
I know a little bit. I know a little bit.
enough to be dangerous.
There you go. Right. Okay. Well, let's go ahead because we got quite a bit ahead of us here. So I'm gonna try to go through this quick.
All right.
Sort of similar here. I got the Dodgers in first. I feel like the Dodgers and Padres are gonna have like a big shootout here, and they're
Yeah.
gonna end up like just dominating the teams that they play, and that's gonna end up letting them be first and second.
Yeah.
But the Mets are gonna be very close third to the Padres there.
All right.
Okay. And then let me see. Oh yeah, I messed up. Hang on my list that I wrote down. Where did I put that? Okay, there we go. Yeah, I got the Cardinals in fourth. Again, I don't
All
know
right.
much. I don't know why, but
Yeah.
I'm kind of following the hype behind them a little bit.
Yeah.
Uh, and then I have. Why did I do this to myself? I wrote arrows, because I didn't put the Padres up there. I forgot about them, so I like put the Mets, Cardinals, Braves, and I was like, oh wait, no, the Padres are gonna be like insane in my mind, but so I gotta like follow this here. Okay. Oh yeah, here we go. And then the Cubs, because I mean, I always remember them being a decent team, but I feel like that's another one where I'm just so ignorant that I'm putting them up there. They might not even make the playoffs with the Brewers. They might
Right.
flip flop there, and I think the Brewers are gonna definitely make the playoffs.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know. Right now, it's
Yeah.
kind of a toss up, but like you
Yeah. I
said,
feel like
I'm
yeah,
almost
after this
second guessing myself now that we've talked about the season. But I like the Brewers. The Phillies are young and kind of explosive, like I said. Um,
right.
I had a reason when I was writing all these down, but to be honest with you, kind of all slipped my mind. But I don't think these teams here are gonna make the playoffs. I really don't.
Yeah.
But we'll see. And the Giants in my head are always just like that team that's like just barely misses or
Yeah.
gets beat up on when they really need to do good. I don't know. We'll
Right.
see. But those are my predictions for
All
NL
right.
playoffs. Um, do we want to do World Series champs? Do we want to get into
I think
that?
that, and then maybe awards after.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Okay, so I'll just go back here. I have all the teams here, but it's on the NL page. But I'll just drag your series champs, whoever you think is gonna.
All right. So in my World Series for 2021, I have the Los Angeles Dodgers facing off against the New York Yankees.
Okay. All right. Sorry about that.
Nope.
Hang on. Say that again. Emily came in and had to ask me a question.
I have the Dodgers versus the Yankees.
Oh, I see. Okay. So let me see if I can. I'll get rid of these guys and then give me a case here.
I I feel like the Dodgers are gonna, be the model of consistency that they have been in the past, however many seasons. It's just
Gotcha.
been fun to watch them, especially these past few years. I mean, this past season they finally got over that hump,
Mm-hmm.
and I think if you want to label them a dynasty, if they win another World Series, I think that'll make 4 or 5 in a row that they've been to,
Yeah.
except
Yeah.
for the national season.
Yep. I feel like you could easily label them, even if they don't. They have like the how do you say that? They have like the air about them that is dynasty. Like they've already proven to us that they can make the World Series like year after year, or and with Mookie and all that, they have the prime talent. They have, I don't know. I feel like yeah, they can be labeled as dynasty pretty easily, even though they don't win. They still have that like, oh yeah, it's the Dodgers. Like they're gonna be there. You know what I mean? But I
Yeah,
do love that you put the Yankees there, and I even gave them a big red X to
I love it.
get them out of there.
Yeah, I have that game. I have that series going 6 games.
6 games.
Six
Okay.
games.
Yes, you do. Oh yeah. Okay,
Yep.
I have your article up. I was like, okay, okay,
Yep.
perfect. Give them a little
Yeah.
hope, and then break them down the last 2 games.
Exactly.
All right. Sick. Okay. Well, I guess we can get into mine here. I didn't even put like an in-depth thing. I really think
Mm-hmm.
that the Padres, they had a little bit of that run last year, from what I remember, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. So, um, I don't know. I feel like they're gonna surprise. Well, not really surprise people, but like I don't know. They're just that exciting.
They-
And to be honest, I think they're gonna play the Blue Jays.
That would be a good series.
It would be, and it's like it's two teams that are trying to like get there. You know what I mean? Um, desperately, and I just feel like they're gonna make it. So I'm sorry, Blue Jays. You get the Red X.
No.
But yeah. Oh yeah. I think that's gonna be my prediction. Although, again, I would love the Mets to be there. The Mets and Yankees, you saying that, and then them going like 7 games and it just being a crazy series, but then the Yankees lose horribly, like a terribly slow death in game 7. That would be sick too. But those are the hopes and prayers of a Red Sox fan. So all right, well, do you want to get into the awards now?
Yeah, I think that sounds like a good plan.
All right, so now we got that. Here we are. Okay, there we go. So the AL, this one I'm gonna have to type in because I couldn't get a list of all their names and stuff. But okay.
Yeah, and I think in my article I list off, my top 3 candidates, but for now we'll just name the top ones.
Yep.
So for the AL MVP, it should come as no surprise with Mike Trout.
Yes.
A stat that I found was that he has been in the top 5 in MVP voting 9 out of his 10 years in the league. And the only time that he wasn't was in 2011 at age 19 when he only played 40 games.
That's insane, isn't it? He's gonna be going down as, if not the greatest of all time, like obviously the greatest of our generation there. As long as he stays healthy with his older years here coming up.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. yeah.
Let's see. So the Cy Young Award. Let's see. I have Garrett Cole winning. And every year that he's been in the American League after leaving the Pirates, he's finished in the top 5 in Cy Young voting.
Okay.
Finishing the highest was second in 2019 behind, I believe it was Justin Verlander that ended up winning.
Okay. I loved watching him when he was on the Pirates, although he was like, him going from the Pirates to the Astros, he's like a completely different person.
He is.
It's like he was this like skinny young, he was good. He was very good when he was on the Pirates. And then when they traded him away, I was like, no, why would you do that? He's insane. But then like when he went to the Astros, I was like, this is not the same guy. Like this he's an absolute unit. First of all, he gained a lot of weight and he just, I don't know. He really like took that step to becoming the top, like one of the top pitchers in the entire league. But,
right. Yeah, I feel like once he joined the Astros, they actually let him pitch.
Yes.
And that's evident with, Charlie Morton going to the Astros too, and Tyler Glass now going to the Rays.
Right.
It's crazy to think that could have been like a top 3 rotation for the Pirates.
I know. But again, it's like, as a fan, you just can't think of it. You just got to be like, nope. Yep. It wouldn't have been the same. That kind of helps you sleep at night, I think. It's like with Mookie. It's like, oh no, if he would have stayed on the Red Sox, he probably would have had his down year. He like wouldn't have been motivated or something. I don't know. But sometimes it really takes that step to go to. Even though the Red Sox won the World Series with him, it's like there's an air of, like we talked about, there's an air of greatness with the Dodgers. So when he went over there, it was like, oh yeah, I'm worth this money. Like, I don't know. Right. And he had another thing to prove, like resetting with a new team. So I feel like that's all it takes for like a great player to be the best player.
Yeah.
It's just being traded, unfortunately.
It's like a flip of the switch.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. This next one, rookie of the year, I honestly, this was like this morning research for me,
Yeah,
but I'd like to hear what you say because I do like seeing like those up and comers and stuff. But I haven't heard any names. So like a
right.
Mike Trout and Bryce Harper and people like that.
Yeah.
Um, I haven't heard any of those kind of names pop up. So this was kind of shot in the dark for me, but I'd like to hear what you have for it.
For my AL Rookie of the Year, um, to go along with the Blue Jays progression towards the top of the AL East, I
Mm-hmm.
had um, pitcher Nate Pearson.
Okay, that's how you
Um,
spell it, right? Yep.
he is the Blue Jays' number one prospect, and rated number 6 overall in MLB.
Oh
Um,
wow.
and he debuted last year. He pitched 5 games, 18 innings, went 1-0 with 16 strikeouts, 13 walks, and a 6.00 ERA. But for his first taste of major league action, you can't expect like a Jacob DeGrom esque.
Yeah,
Uh,
right. And yeah, DeGrom's he's on another level. I'll reveal it a little early. He's gonna be my Cy Young for the NL.
that's a
He's
good
just
pick.
yeah, he's just he's on another planet when it comes to pitching. From what we saw, even I mean, just for the past couple of years, he's just been there. So,
Yeah.
but
All right. For manager of the year, continuing with the Blue Jays trend, I have Charlie Montoya.
Charlie Montoya, congratulations, Charlie. So the Blue Jays, I love that. I love that idea, but um yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna be fun to watch.
Yes. I agree. But so trying to think, I could see that coming out where they're like that team that has those great players, but they
Mhm.
just don't have that like next step.
Right.
You know what I mean? To get them there, like to get them up. You know, that is a tough division too in the AL East. So like
I know
to make it high in the playoffs and like to actually get through, that's gonna be tough.
it
But
is.
yeah, I think I could see that they're gonna have like those players like Vlad Jr. and then you said Nate Pearson, uh,
Yeah.
and
True.
then the manager. They're gonna be the awards team. Like
Yeah.
I could see that coming out. I like that
Yeah.
story too.
Also throw in their shortstop Bo Bichette,
Oh, that's right.
Kevin Biggio. Um, and then there's a couple rumors floating around from MLBTradeRumors.com
Mm-hmm.
that they are interested in um, signing George Springer and possibly Michael Brantley to play the outfield.
Ooh, that would be kind of a game changer.
It would be.
Literally. Yeah, that
Yeah.
that might be the step that I was talking about. If they can pick them up, or if they
Right.
do, you know, spend that kind of money. But yeah, I feel like that would really set them ahead from the award-winning team to like the actual big ticket. Oh, maybe I'm
Yes.
right. We'll see. We'll see what happens in the next couple of months here.
Right.
But
Let's see. Comeback player of the year is last,
yes.
right?
Yep.
Uh, I have Trey Mancini from Baltimore winning that.
Yep.
Um, Mostly because he missed all of last season recovering from stage 3 colon cancer.
Yes.
So just him being out on the field and playing next year is a feat all in itself.
Yeah, exactly. I love that story, and I was telling Emily about it. Like when we would go to the games, even back when he was first diagnosed, it was like, oh, it was just one of them like tragic things because he was the light in the Orioles lineup. Like he was that guy that was consistent, and if they had any chance, it was like him just having having a day, and they would most likely win the game,
Right.
or at least be competitive on a team like the Orioles. That's very hard to do.
Yeah.
So that story alone, if he can have like a full year of playing, I feel like you're right. He will have
Mhm.
that like comeback player year. Yeah, that's gonna be awesome to see. I'm excited to follow that story though.
Same here.
Yep. But okay. Well, let me get
All right.
into mine real quick. What do I have here? AL. Oh yeah. So and hang on. This goes along with um the Blue Jays. I'm gonna follow suit here, but with my predictions having them in the World Series, I feel like Vlad Jr. is gonna really get them there,
Yeah,
and he's gonna follow Daddy here, and he's gonna be an insane, legendary type player.
for sure.
I hope I'm not putting too much of a spotlight on him, because if he ends up doing something bad or like having that weird syndrome where like you're trying to follow your predecessor, it's like
Yeah.
stuff can go very wrong there, and I don't want to get into it, but um I'll feel bad partaking in the pressure that I put on him. So, but I feel like he's very very fun to watch, and he's gonna lead the charge there.
Yeah.
Um, this next one, Chris Sale.
Okay.
Yes, yes, yes. He has shown that he can be the best pitcher in the league, and
Right.
I know it's off of surgery, and a lot of times that doesn't happen, but we saw it with Strasburg, where
Yeah.
even though he was younger, I'll give him that, he was way younger, but having that surgery and then coming back and winning the World Series, and like it's possible. So
It is.
this is a very hopeful thing, and me manifesting that he has a good year. So we'll see how that goes.
I like
But
it.
yes. Um Rookie of the year. Again, this is one that I wasn't sure about. And actually, this is gonna be funny. I'm gonna put this guy. You know this name, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
Okay. But I have no idea. I saw this online and I was like, yeah, that seems like a good name and good
Yep.
pick for rookie of the year. But um, I even forgot who he plays for. Is it the Rays?
The Rays.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
all right. I have an idea at least, but I don't. I I have a hard time picking pitchers for rookie of the year. I don't know
Yeah.
why. Um, because how I don't know how many times do you really see that happen as
Right.
much, and people love offense and that whole you know thing, but I feel like he's gonna have that. The Rays aren't gonna do as good, but he's gonna be like a big spark for them. Um,
Right.
we'll see how it goes, but I could see that name being up there for Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
We'll see. Oh, you're gonna like
Yep.
this one too. I don't believe it's gonna happen, but okay. And I'm
All
not
right.
being ridiculous here. Uh, I feel like I feel like I don't know. It's hard to put him there because of all the stuff. Like I don't think the MLB would. I don't know. That's a weird situation for me because I feel like even though he was involved with everything that happened with
Yeah.
the Astros, I feel like I'm being a little hypocritical here. I hate the Astros, but I love him so much because of what he did for the Red Sox, and I
Right.
do feel like he's a baseball guy. Regardless of like he took the bullet. He was like, you know what? No, I accept like I did all this. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But I feel like he's gonna manage the Red Sox from being almost as awful as the Orioles to being the solid team that they are. So we'll see. See
Yeah.
how that
For
goes.
sure.
And then of course Trey Mancini. I agree with that 100%, and I can't wait to see that story take
Yeah.
place. That's just gonna be a fun one. It's
It
like
is.
watching a movie. I don't know. It's like that comeback story. Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
So, uh, fingers crossed for him though.
Exactly.
But, all right, so we'll get into the NL here.
All right. Oh, let's see. MVP first.
Yeah. Yep.
So I had a lot of trouble with this one.
Yeah, this is a shot in the dark. I feel like it's a big toss up.
There was an article put out on, I believe it was MLB.com, asking 20 front office executives of which of the three players they would want to lead their team. And the three players were my 1, 2, and 3 for voting this year.
Oh, okay.
And all in all, I put Ronald Acuna Jr.
Mm-hmm.
winning MVP.
Okay, I see that.
He's gonna win it over Juan Soto and Fernando Tatis Jr.
Gotcha. A lot of people are saying Juan Soto.
Yeah, he his bat is amazing, especially for the age he is.
Mm-hmm.
It's incredible to just watch him hit.
Oh yeah, that's for sure.
For Cy Young Award, I have a little sleeper pick.
I
I
see
have
that.
Jack Flaherty of the Cardinals winning.
Okay.
In 2019, he finished fourth in Cy Young voting, um, behind obviously DeGrom. I believe it might have been Scherzer or Strasburg.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's going to have a decent season, especially for the Cardinals to win the NL Central.
Gotcha. I could see that. No, I like that. That goes along
Yeah,
with the Cardinals' success, and
right.
if they get there, it's going to be definitely because of their pitching. And oh yeah, might be changing my mind a little bit.
For Rookie of the Year, I have Pirates third baseman Brian Hayes.
That's how you say it.
Yeah.
I saw that and I was like, okay, I don't know who you are, but
Yep.
it's a cool name.
He came up last year for the Pirates. He only played 24 games, so he was under the total required for Rookie of the Year, or to lose his rookie status going into this
Yeah.
year.
Yep.
But in his 24 games, he hit 376, had a 442 on base percentage, and a 682 slugging percentage, with 7 doubles, 5 homers, 11 RBIs. And then there's a
Oh
new
wow.
age stat called OPS plus,
Yep.
which takes a player's on base plus their slugging percentage and normalizes it to a number across the entire league.
Right.
So an OPS plus of 100 is like league average.
Yep.
So if your OPS plus is 75, you're 75% lower than league average.
Oh,
And
I see. Okay.
in his 24 games, he had an OPS plus of 202.
Okay. So he's way
Yeah,
ahead of the game there.
I'm
As
I'm hoping that he has some of the same success this
yes,
coming season.
that would be fun to watch. I agreed with this one, and when we get to it, yeah, that's who I have as well because I trust. I mean, that would be awesome to see at least some glimmer of hope in the Pirates system there. I guess. Oh man, yeah, that'll be nice to see.
Let's see. For my NL Manager of the Year, I have Joe Girardi of the Phillies winning.
Okay.
Um, I picked him because the Phillies had the worst bullpen in all of Major League Baseball last year, and I don't think that they could actually repeat that feat.
You don't think so?
I don't think so. They just signed Archie Bradley this past week to help the
Yes.
bullpen. So I'm hoping that provides some stability.
Okay.
But who knows?
Yes. Yeah, you're right. Who does know? But that name, that's a good name for a manager of the year. It's just like
Yeah.
oh who was the Dodgers manager?
Don Mattingly
Yeah,
or
yeah,
Dave Roberts.
both of them. Their names are like just their names. They're
Yep.
on great teams.
Right.
I feel like that's an easy award to give, especially if you're right. If the Phillies do kind of make a playoff run and they're young, and a lot of times that's who ends up getting it. That manager of the year. I agree with that. And Joe Girardi has that name, so.
Yep.
Yep. All right.
And my comeback player of the year, he opted out of the 2020 season,
Yep.
is Buster Posey.
Yes. I like that. I like that a lot because this is his last year, right? With his last year of the contract, I should say.
I believe so.
Because I didn't know about this. I forgot that he had opted out, and that I didn't realize this would be his last year with the Giants. I don't think it will be, but like in terms of his contract, it is.
Yeah.
We'll see what happens because he's what, like 30. How old is he now? 35-ish. I can't remember how old he is. He's up there though.
33. I'll turn 34 in March.
Maybe he's not as old as I thought he is, but for a catcher, I feel like you
Yeah.
get to a point and you're just like old. Like I think it's that like 34 range is like, oh, he's still catching,
Right.
If his bat picks up, and we'll get into this too, if they do the universal DH, that's a spot that he could definitely, I feel like he would like it a lot. And he's proven that he has a bat, so yeah, we'll see how that goes. But I agree with that as well. So I'll show you mine. Actually, we're very similar here, minus well, hang on. Where's my notes? Oh, there. Okay, yeah. So I have also Acuna Jr. because he's a stud, and I feel like he's a very safe pick for me.
Yeah.
Not knowing as much. And I guess I could have picked, I mean, there's so many you could pick from, like you said, but him being younger and the spotlight's going to be on him and the highlights are going to be on him, so I feel like it's, people want different. They want the Padres to, they want that exciting teams, to have the highlights about. So I think he's going to really make some waves here. He's going to just revel in it. Kind of like who did you have for Tatis Jr.? The Junior brothers, I guess. Yeah, they both they're those players that just like they soak up the spotlight, so let me get rid of this real quick. Uh-oh. Hang on. Lock that. Get out of here. There. Clean it up a little. Okay.
All right.
So for my Cy Young, I love Jacob deGrom, and I feel like with the Mets' success is going to be a lot on him again, as long as he doesn't get hurt and things like that. But he's one of my favorite pitchers to watch right now, and he's definitely going to lead the way with the Mets there. Rookie of the year, I don't have much to say about this, but I'm going to follow suit with you. You said it was Cabrian?
Yep.
Okay. I like it. I like the name. I like the organization, and they need something. So this, at least hopefully they don't use it as a trading piece like they usually do. But if he's good and he's consistently good, hopefully he can be one of those like solid foundations for the team coming next couple of years.
For sure. And his dad actually played for the Pirates back in the day too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Charlie Hayes.
Gotcha. That name sounds familiar. I probably I probably have seen him play. But yeah, I like it. The manager of the year, because of San Diego winning the World Series. I feel like it's gonna be their manager, Jace Tingler, right?
Yep.
Okay. And I honestly don't know who won last year. Who won Manager of the Year last year? Was it? It
Uh,
wasn't him, right?
I think it was so last year. The NL Manager of the Year was Don Mattingly.
Okay, that's why. Yeah, that's why I remember Don's name being up there all the time.
Yep, and
Um,
then Kevin Cash was in the AL.
okay, gotcha. So yeah, I feel like this would be the year to give it to him if the Padres, even though if they don't um pass the Dodgers in the West, I don't think they will, but uh I feel like even if they, you know, give them hell the whole year, I feel like it will be a lot of that manager like keeping that team together and um yeah, I could see him winning the series this year.
Yeah, for
So,
sure.
and if he hasn't won it already, which I actually thought he did for some reason, or I assumed he did, I guess. Uh, then yeah, he's probably gonna get it this year. I could see that. Um, and then yeah, I'm gonna follow suit again with Buster Posey because I looked on your article and I saw that and I was like, oh yeah, he didn't play. And then that's
Yep.
like an obvious like just give it to him because unless he has that insane, you know, bat that he used to have and you know the influence that he had on that team, I don't think he will. I feel like he deserves something. So the league will
Mhm.
probably, you know, or actually this is something I don't know. People don't do they vote for comeback player of the year or is it the league like is it managers or executives that vote?
Entirely sure how that voting goes.
See, I'm not sure
Um,
either.
it might be um, the BBWAA.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah,
So like an organization that's for these awards specifically.
yeah,
I always
yeah,
wondered that because I know All Star games are people voting in, you know, uh, for the
right,
most part, and then the manager making the decisions. But okay. Well, in that case, I still think that uh, Posey deserves it because he's been
right.
out of the. He was a great player. He's been out of the spotlight for a while, and I feel like this is his last kind of. Because I don't think the Giants are gonna do that great, and it would be his last kind of parting.
Swan song.
Yeah, there you go. That's it. That's perfect. Um, all right. So I don't have any graphics set up for the rules and stuff like that, but we can just talk about them.
That sounds
Um,
good.
and then we'll close on that. I guess I have
Okay.
this cool graphic of the. I guess I can make it up as I go. It's just a diamond, but um.
All
So
right.
I didn't even write any notes down. I'm just gonna kind of follow along, and I'll just go with what you have to say, and I'll give you my opinion on what we think. So, I
Sounds
guess
good.
we can start
I,
with the universal DH, right?
yeah, I can ask. I can ask you these questions first, and then you can answer, and then we'll flip. How's that
Yes.
sound?
Yep. Sounds good to me.
Okay. All right. So question number one is: should there be rule changes for 2021? Uh, keep or go? Should there be a universal DH in
Okay.
Major League Baseball?
This is one that I kind of like go back and forth with,
Mhm.
because I love seeing towards the end of a game managers having to decide whether or not to take their starting pitcher out.
Yeah.
It's like it's the most strategic part of baseball, and I do love that. But right now, for the good of the league, for
Mhm.
offense, and that's what people want to see, I feel like a universal DH is a change that might bring more viewers to baseball. I don't know. I could be wrong on this,
Right.
but I feel like it's something that if they I wish they would have done it last year with like the weird season. Just been like, you know what? Just universal DHs. We're gonna do this. So it's gonna be a really weird year, but we're gonna
Yeah.
test everything out. Because I wish we could have seen how it would have went. Um,
Right. And I think they
but
did have universal DH
Oh,
last year.
did they? See, oh,
Yeah.
that goes to show how much I paid attention to the NL. Well, in that case, I don't know. Uh, it's a weird thing when you have two leagues have separate rules,
Right.
but then again, it's such an awesome thing to see that manager's decision at the end of the game. So
Mhm.
it's hard for me to decide this. I'm gonna say keep it. I'm gonna say
Okay.
keep it because I think it's better for the game, for the baseball purists and for people like that appreciate the game. I feel like it's an
Yeah.
awesome thing. Um, to see those decisions being made and like it's actual strategy rather than just put your slugger in and let him go for the whole game, you know.
Yeah.
But for the offensive, the quicker games, the all that junk that they've been trying to figure out, I feel like it's something they might need to keep for another year at least and see how that
Yeah.
goes.
All right. Question number two. Um, let's see. Do you want to keep or get rid of the rule to start a runner on second base at the beginning of extra innings?
Um, so I thought that I would stick with it,
Hmm.
but after reading your article, you made a good point. Because it starts in the 10th inning, but um, you were saying to change it to the 12th inning, and I feel like that is a better idea because in extras, it's not a horrible thing when games you get that bit of excitement when you're jumping into that 10th inning, and people like start watching again. That's when people are starting to watch the game. But you're right. Once it gets to the 12th inning, people are like, okay, I'm over this. Like, I don't really care about the game. If you put that last runner or that runner on second in the 12th inning, um, I feel like that's a great idea because it changes the pace of the game still, but it doesn't make it have all of the end in the 10th or 11th. You still get that little bit of a uh excitement later on in the game in the later innings. But
Yep.
yeah, so I think I'll agree with what you have to say there.
Okay. The next rule question is: should they keep the rule for a three batter minimum for pitchers?
Yeah, I liked it when they first came out with this,
Mhm.
and one, it keeps the pacing up. I feel like it's a great idea like that they came up with. They've been trying to figure out to make the games quicker, and this definitely does that. You don't have to wait to watch someone come in just to finish off one batter.
Right.
uh it's something that I hope they keep, and it was a great idea. So, and like what you yeah, I'll let you explain
Okay.
how you feel about it, but yeah, I think we should keep that.
All right. Question number four. Um, should MLB keep the eight-team expanded playoffs?
Yes, I think because it allows. I definitely like the idea last year because it was a shortened season. It's like, okay, whatever, just let everybody, you know what I mean? Because who knows what the season would have been had
Mhm.
we had a full season. So at least that gives teams that, instead of, like, for instance, if we have a team that's always good, this is talking about last year. So we knew that it was going to be a shortened season. If a team that's always good, I guess this doesn't really work out for the Red Sox, which is kind of funny, but that I'm making this point. But like, if they didn't have a chance to gain traction and to win all the games that they usually do, and they
Right.
were left out of the playoffs, it would have felt like an injustice. Um,
Yeah.
the Red Sox were so bad that they still didn't, you know, uh, get to that point. But I feel like it allows more teams a chance to, you know, make their run. I like it. I think we should keep it.
All right. And the last question that we have: should MLB expand the rosters? Keep expanded rosters.
Um, sometimes it. I don't know about this. I didn't really do too much research into this, It is nice to have those extra players in case someone gets hurt, and especially with like COVID going around, like you don't have to
Mhm.
scramble and be like, oh, you need to come up from the minors. Like now they can plan ahead for stuff like that. um so it's definitely like a nice little, it's like a nice failsafe for this, the times we're living in. um
Right.
but it also, it, if I guess if it weren't for all that stuff going on, like COVID and having to prepare for that, it
Mhm.
also gives you like, it's sort of like the DH thing where it gives you like that strategic, you have to be very smart with who you bring up, and you have to plan way ahead and be very thoughtful with that. So I'm kind of on the fence with that one as well, because you like having players just ready to go, there's no waiting, you don't have to worry about it. But then on the other side of the coin, it's like if they, if they're not having to prepare for COVID and injuries and stuff, it's like you need to make sure you have the right people up on your roster. So yeah, I think they should keep it, just
Okay.
because of what's been going on, like how many people are just like dropping like flies off rosters in like the NBA and NFL and stuff like that. Um,
Right.
which I guess you could call them up anyway, but at least it gives room to, uh,
Have them up there already.
yeah, so they're not like getting jerked around down there in the minors. Like, am I gonna come up? Am I not? It's like, oh yeah, I made it. I proved to my, team that I should be here.
Yeah.
Um, I guess that's kind of a, uh for the players rule.
Right.
But
All
yeah,
right.
keep it.
Sweet.
Okay.
Let's see.
So I guess if you want to go over and go over what you think about these rules
Okay.
too, we'll just go back over them. So like the universal DH, what do you think about it?
Um, Personally, I'm not a fan of it as like that baseball purist in me.
Yep.
I feel like you're taking a lot of strategy out of the game, especially late in the games, like we discussed.
Yes. Yep.
Um, so I'm gonna say I think it should go. I'm
Okay.
not a fan.
Gotcha. That's understandable. I get why I wouldn't argue with it, because it's
Yeah.
like it's like a preference thing. Um,
Mhm.
and you could make the argument on the other side, how I was saying like it's good for the game, kind of like with golf, like they're trying to figure out how to make the pacing better with that. They're trying
Yeah.
to do that for baseball too. So you could make the
Right.
arguments like, well, people that already watch baseball might not want to watch it if it's like a universal DH. It might just be, that might be the thing that they love watching more than anything else. So you could be losing
True.
fans getting that rule. So it's kind of a toss up. Yeah. So I don't
Yeah.
blame you.
It's a double-edged sword for the
Yes.
league to decide.
Exactly. Exactly.
All
So
right.
runner on second base. What do you think?
Uh,
Oh wait, we know what you think, but yeah, go. I want to hear you talk about it.
when I first thought of it and like just watching the minimal games that I did last year that
Yep.
went to extra innings,
Hmm.
it just didn't have the feel of an actual baseball game. It felt like kind of little league-ish.
Okay.
It's like, okay, well, we can't start another inning past 11 o'clock at Bracken Field, so we're going to start with a runner on second base.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yep. No, I can definitely see that. Yeah. Especially
I
right
like,
away to start the it's like, yeah, it does give a sense of like semi-pro, or like it's just a not professional feel.
yeah,
Yep.
and that's why I brought up like maybe the 12th inning because by that time you're sitting at the stadium or watching on TV for 4 hours.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how many people you know lose interest in that those last three extra inning hours or innings.
Yeah, yeah, and sort of like I was saying, like that 10th inning, people are like, all right, let's go, like, um, extra innings. Like once you get past that,
Mhm.
even like the 11th inning, I don't know. I feel like that would be still too soon. But
Right.
the 12th inning is definitely when people start like going, okay, it's like 1 a.m. I got to go to bed or whatever it is. Especially during the regular season, like there's regardless of this rule, once they see extra innings come up, it's like, okay, I gotta go to bed or something. You know what I mean? Like, I gotta work tomorrow. Um, so, but yeah, you don't want to take away from that. Now that you said that, that's all I'm gonna be thinking about is like, all right, time to clean up, boys. We gotta go. You know what I mean? When they put a runner on second, um,
Yep.
I'm not gonna be able to not picture that little league field now. That's funny, but
Um,
that's definitely a
I,
good point.
I think for the rule, I don't think it should be applied during the playoffs.
Okay, I do
I feel
like
like
that.
you're there to win the game outright.
Yep.
Um, that's just my opinion.
Yes. I agree with that 100% because um playoffs, people are gonna, they don't care about work at that time. Like, if you care about your team, or you're gonna stay up until 4 in the morning watching them. You know, it gets more and more exciting at that point, in my opinion. um
Right.
yeah, it's just that's a normal thing. I agree with that 100%.
All right.
Okay, so this is the 3 batter minimum for pitchers
Uh,
coming in, so they finish the inning.
uh, I, I say keep the rule. You're paid to pitch. You can
Yep.
get 3 outs or face 3 batters at least.
Yep. Exactly.
That plays more into the strategy of the manager, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so say you have, David Ortiz, Manny Ramirez, and Jason Varitek coming up to the plate.
Yep.
You're gonna want to bring in. Are you gonna want to bring in a lefty to face Ortiz, but then have the left-right matchup for Ramirez and Varitek? Because Varitek was a righty, right? Was he lefty?
uh yeah, yeah, he was righty. Yeah,
Okay.
I believe so.
Or would you bring in the righty to face Ortiz, but then face Ramirez and Varitek? So
Right.
it's kind of like, all right, what's going to work best in this scenario?
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah,
Yep.
you're paid to get outs. That's my
I
opinion.
Yeah, I agree with that. And then with the pacing of the game, that's something that's just like, it's a no brainer. It's like, just keep them in. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, having them go in for, even like, sometimes it was like one pitch. They'd go in, get
Yeah.
the guy out, and they'd be like, okay, time to warm up and get the other guy in. It's like, okay,
Yep.
commercial break. Like, that sucked to me. I hated that. But
It like brings the game to a screeching halt.
yes, yeah,
And then
oh
that's
yeah,
where, people lose interest.
yep. Especially if it's, if the game's like, if it's like a 4 run game or something, people are like, whatever, we lose. You know what I mean? It's like, at least in my opinion, I would do that too. To be honest with
Right.
you, like, if it was just constant, like, pitchers being switched in and out, it's like, oh, this guy needs to face a batter today just because. It's like, no, you can't do that. Yeah, I like that. So, um, okay. Well, what do you think about the expanded playoffs?
Um, I like the expanded playoffs because you're going to have more teams um, fighting for those last playoff spots,
Yes.
making deals, becoming more competitive,
Mm-hmm.
and knowing that they can clinch a spot. Um, but if MLB decides to reduce the number back to its original 6, I believe it was 6, or was it 5?
I think it was 6.
5 or 6, whichever.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
I feel like the wild card game then should be a 3-game series instead of just a singular winner take all game.
Right, right. Yeah, I can agree with that. If they go back to the normal um playoffs, yeah, they
Yep.
should make the wild card have a little bit more of a chance for teams to really prove themselves, because sometimes it doesn't come down to a game. Like, there's so many moving parts to a team. Like, you don't have just one pitcher. One team might have just one pitcher that's great for that one
Right.
game, but then their next 2 pitchers are, just not that, they're mediocre, and the other team might have 3 decent pitchers that might get them there. So it's,
Yep.
yep, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Okay, and then the expanded rosters?
Um, I said to keep this rule,
Mm-hmm.
um, only along the lines of if the universal DH is a rule for this upcoming season.
Okay.
Because that 26th spot can be used to fill as a permanent DH. Or if you don't have a permanent DH, then you can add an extra reliever to the bullpen.
Okay. Yeah, that's very thoughtful. Yeah, I like that. I like that idea. I do. Huh. That gets really into the nitty gritty. Like when you're talking about bringing someone up that like nobody's heard of, it's kind of tough.
Right.
That would be tough as like a GM, or
Yeah.
even just the manager. I'd be like, oh, just bring him up. I don't know.
Right.
It's a lot of thought that goes into it, and then teams are getting their money's worth with, paying their GM a good amount of money to figure that out. So,
Yeah, for sure.
and then there was one Zach that we did not go over.
Oh boy.
That's been a very debatable subject. What about
Okay.
the shift?
Uh, Personally, because I was
Mm-hmm.
scrolling up through the article, I see it was like one of the top ones,
Yeah. Yep.
and I guess it just slipped my mind to include it in that one section. But I'm a fan of banning the shift,
Okay.
especially if offense is the hot topic and what people go to games to see.
Yes. Right.
So if you have three infielders on the right side of the infield, and one's playing basically short right field, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, what's the point of limiting offense that way?
Yes. Yep.
Like so many pitchers, starters and relievers, especially relievers, come in and they throw 95 to 100, even 100 plus miles an hour.
Yep.
Batters already have a tough enough time, uh, you know, hitting the ball. And if they do, make good contact, and it should be a single, or I mean, even a double down the line
Yep.
to left or right field, mostly right field. But I feel like they should be rewarded.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep. I agree with that 100%. Uh, yeah, I know it's not really like it wasn't a rule change or anything, but it's something that's debated. So I figured
Yeah.
that would be a good way to end the video. I agree with you. I think that they just need to get rid of it because it's such a bummer when you know that someone's a. See, I've been back and forth on this. Like a little while ago, I used to be like, well, no, they're major league hitters. They need to figure out how to hit the other way.
Right.
But then you start really thinking about what it takes to hit the other way and how many people can actually do that. Like
Yep.
you see the people that hit the other way and can pull the ball, they're the ones that are the great players,
Mm-hmm.
of the time. So it's like there's only so many people that can do that. And when you have someone up that's like it's late in the game and they're a power hitter, they're a pull ball hitter, and then everybody's on the left side of the field, it's like, man, you know what I mean? It's kind of like it's a bummer because 9 times out of 10 they're gonna pull the ball even if they're
Right.
not trying to. It's just it's their nature.
Yep.
And like you said, with pitchers being as insane as they are now, like
Mm-hmm.
averaging 95 to 98 miles an hour and having the
Yeah.
most disgusting curveballs, like we're in a different time, and limiting offense isn't the best thing to do right now, with
Great.
rules and stuff. So just let it work out, and we'll see how it goes. At least for this season, I feel like it would be a nice transition season to take it away and then see how
Yeah.
people react to like actual baseball coming back with a few changes. So
Yeah. I mean, I can still see small shifts occurring. Like say the shortstop can't go on the other side of second base, but he
yeah,
can play up the middle. Like I
yes,
I would be fine with that.
or can't
But
be in the grass behind short. I don't know. Well, that's kind of a normal thing too. So maybe not like a certain amount of feet in the grass. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yep.
But yeah, there definitely has to be boundaries because when you have two left fielders and no second baseman, it's just that's weird to me.
Yeah.
Like that's a very new thing that they just started doing because of
Yep.
analytics, and it doesn't feel right. And if it doesn't feel right, I feel like they should just get rid of it. So,
I agree.
yep. But well, I guess that's it. We covered a lot of stuff. We've been almost talking for 2 hours. I love it. I love
We did.
baseball, and I'm starting to get baseball fever again.
Oh
Even though
yeah.
it's only midway through January. Um,
Yep.
but is there anything else you wanted to say?
Not really. In my article online, I have a couple other topics of free agent signings and players that I think will be traded and who
Yes.
won't be traded during the offseason. But on January 26th, MLB will be announcing who gets inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame for this
Oh
year.
yeah, yeah, that'll be nice.
So I have an article up on my website pertaining to that as well. So if you get a chance, check it out.
Yes.
Let me know what you think.
Perfect. And I'll definitely be linking that below in the video.
All right.
His website, and it's not just baseball stuff. He has hunting. There's football that I saw, right?
Yep.
Um, and it's not just like short little clickbait articles either. It's like this is full of information that, to be honest, Zach, I think should be front and center. It's like better writing than most of the. It's more thoughtful writing than most of the people that you see on like MLB.com and you know stuff like that. Sometimes I can't stand to read those articles because they're just so catered or something. I don't know what it is, but yeah, you're definitely you got legit stuff here, and um, happy to work with you and listen to what you think about this season coming up and all that stuff. So
For sure. It's been fun.
yes, it has. So
Maybe we'll do another episode around the All Star break, predicting the All Star teams this year.
that would be that would be perfect. Yes, I'd be
Perfect.
more than happy to do that, and maybe even some hunting stuff if I actually get
Yeah.
into hunting this year. We'll see. We'll see. But
All right.
yep. All right, Zach. Well, it's been real.
It
That
has been.
was baseball 2021 predictions with me and Zach, or Zach and I. This was not an expert, and you guys have a good one.
See ya.
There.